Hello. Welcome to another episode of
The students.
Group videos!
Yeah.
AIDS.
Okay.
So gonna start it.
So,
One thing I found interesting, or we're going to talk about the AIDS one first,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so we're talking about the Hans Rowling AIDS video from TED Talk. And what I found interesting was that Africa was the 4% of the world population, 50% of the people that are affected by HIV live in Africa and come from Africa.
it was weird to see like it was all blue. Like blue
Yeah.
was the most infected, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah, it was
he
all
showed a
there.
map of, the different blobs that are affected in each country and stuff. It's spread worldwide. It's not just one specific country that doesn't have it. Every country has AIDS, and it's interesting to see that even like non-third world countries, are affected by it.
It was weird when he would clicked on Zimbabwe and what was the other one? In Kenya. And it was weird to see like most of it was like it was all over the place once he separated it out. Like Zimbabwe, there was like one way high on the chart, like one.
Oh, when by
The Zimbabwe one I think was by
section?
by
or-
by areas, and then the Kenya one was by financial.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it was crazy to see how it's just all over, even within one bubble. It spreads out everywhere.
Yeah, like looking at the graph, how it all looked like it was from Africa, and then when you put it in the map, how it was just spread throughout the entire world. Like even, what little country was he talking about?
There was
I don't
one dot in
remember.
Australia. There
Yeah,
was one
it just
dot.
was spread throughout the entire world instead of like just Africa.
Well, then wasn't there a comment about like the richer countries, or I should say richer, more wealthy countries, even though they still are affected by AIDS, they're more well off, and was it like they're able to like afford curing it
The treatment.
or the treatment?
Because the treatment is so
So-
expensive. And so there's like, when you look at it, there might be more in the U.S. because more people are living from it versus people in Africa who die from it.
Yeah.
So when you look at that map, there's more people that are able to stay alive in, non-third world countries versus Africa, where it's constantly fluctuating because people get it and then they all die, and then they get more and then they all die. I find it interesting that Hans said that it's the HIV in Africa is different than the HIV in non-third world countries. That's relating back to what I just said about people living and not living and stuff. He says it's not, I don't know where I was going with that.
It's okay.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Anything else about HIV?
I guess I should say something. 'Cause I haven't said anything.
Yeah.
I like how he talked about how Africa's diverse. How we always clump Africa together as just Africa. Well, there's like I don't know how many countries are in Africa, but there's like
A lot.
20 something or 30. I don't even know.
Yeah.
That's bad on my part, I guess. I don't know how many countries are in Africa. There's quite a few, looks like.
Yeah.
But we just clump it all together as like, oh, that's Africa, they're all, got the same problems and stuff or whatever. They're all the same, but they're a lot different, and so there's a lot of diversity. So I think that's a good point. And it's kind of offensive to clump them all together and be like, oh, you're just one of those African countries. It's like seeing like an Asian person and be like, oh, Philippines, that's like China, like some people still do that, but that's
Yeah,
like
I do.
yeah.
it's just the exact same type thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, back on topic. I'm kidding. So the next video, just kidding. The next video was about that living water. That was so cool. Like
Kind of disgusting.
Yeah,
When
I
you put it
was
all
so
together in
gross,
the tank,
but I'm
I
like, would
wanted
you
again.
guys, would
Oh
you guys
yeah,
drink it?
I want one of
Yeah.
those.
I
Even
would
after
drink
the
it.
Yeah, I
filter,
drink
I
it.
wouldn't drink it.
I don't
I'd
know.
totally
That's
drink
There's
it.
poop
iffy.
in there.
But there's
but
not
it
poop
was
in there.
clear
Exactly.
when it came
Yeah.
out. Like all
Yeah.
you did was pump it, and then it's
Like
like
3
clean.
times.
Well, the coolest thing is like you can have clear water and it can still be contaminated. media.
Yeah.
So like that was crazy when he showed us the smallest virus was like 25 nanometers.
Yeah.
And
But the filter is really
yeah, the
Smaller.
filter is so
The filter
small.
was
16.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
15, yeah.
oh
And-
his new filter was 15
Yeah.
and the next like the good filter nowadays they were only 20
Yeah, no,
something.
they were like 20,
200.
200 it was 200
yeah.
Wow,
because
that's
That's a
bad.
yeah.
huge
So like a
difference.
bunch of viruses wouldn't even
Yeah.
Be caught, yeah.
be caught in the
Did it
filters.
say how much he was selling one of those life water things?
I don't know. I want to buy one though for
Well, he
camping.
said
Me
that
too.
I was trying to do the math, but it would cost half a cent for 3 years. To use it every day for 3 years
mm-hmm.
for one of those.
So 365
I don't remember if it was the little bottle or the gallon that he
It'd be like
said that. But
oh I think it was the
$9.
gallon
but it's it'd be like $30 for one of those
Yeah.
maybe, which is a lot
Wow.
in a
but
third world
really it
country,
lasts
but
forever because the
It's
filter lasts for
3 years.
600
Yeah.
for the bottle it's 600 liters
Mhm.
and because they're in Europe they do everything by liters and the big one like the jug was a lot more than that like
It was like
2500
It was like
Yeah.
25,000.
Or maybe it was 6,000 liters and then 25,000.
Think-
oh
That's what it
yeah
was.
600 that sounds smart
I would buy one.
Yeah, I'm seriously, I wrote it down so I could go look up on the internet and maybe.
well yeah like we've been taught about like food storage and being prepared for disasters and stuff throughout
It'd
the
be really
church
smart to have
and that is really good like being in the drought in California like
Yeah.
people were scared like they started making sure they had those 5-gallon jugs when really my family always had it but people were like oh I need to save water and stuff but if you had that
You wouldn't use it.
Or what
But a
if you were
drought
stranded
wouldn't
by
really-
yourself and you needed water? You could just go pump some up.
yeah
Mm-hmm.
it
I'm
just
telling
takes a
you,
couple
I would
pumps
keep it in my car.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, now I'm all freaked out because he has a water filter thing and we used it in the stream once. But now I feel like I got a bunch of bacteria because it was only.
You probably
Well, I was
did.
like,
200.
that water honestly is probably good to drink.
Well,
on
the
its
water
own,
was
though.
probably fine, but still
Yeah.
it freaks me out.
Well,
If there's something that much better,
yeah
Where do you say it was like $20 billion to give safe water to like everyone in Africa?
no, that was everyone.
Or just
In
like
the
everyone in the
world.
entire
In the whole
world?
world.
I think it was 18 billion to save like
8 billion to
Eight-
save.
oh, 8 billion?
To save Africa.
to save Africa and then
and 20 for the whole world
Makes sense.
Save the world.
Which sounds like a lot of money, but,
but
when
really
you
if you're
compared
thinking
it,
about it it's the
Yeah.
whole world
Like what Obama spends.
yeah.
Oh.
We could
Seriously.
save the world.
all right well
Wow.
those were our 2 videos that we watched
Yay!
Well, that